Hey everyone, it's Matt Frazier, the Psychic Medium, and I am live with all of you. Come in and join me. I am so excited because I have so much to share with you today. And more importantly, I want to talk to you about what happens when your loved one doesn't come through. Have you been feeling like, oh my God, Matt, I'm just so scared. I'm so nervous. I haven't gotten a sign from a loved one. I haven't felt their presence. I don't know that they're here and with me. What am I going to do? Well, this video is for you, especially if you've gone to a medium and haven't received a reading. There's one thing that I've learned after all of these years of being a medium, and there's some people who still don't want to believe it, right? It's that you can't force out a message. Anytime I do a reading, it's a request to the spirit world. I request that the souls come through that need to talk and communicate and speak. Sometimes souls come through that we're looking to hear for, and other times they don't and they wait. Well, I want to share with you exactly why that is. And I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want to share with you what happened to a woman who came to one of my online group readings. She didn't hear a message, but decided to come again. Well, the reason why I want to share this with you is because she came a second time, and little did she know that this whole thing was being orchestrated behind the scenes. She actually came, I think it was a bunch of times, and didn't hear a message. And then there was this one thing that happens that I know was her loved one in spirit orchestrating everything so that she would receive a message from him from the other side. So we're going to get in and talk about this. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this with all of you is because everything that I've learned from your loved ones in spirit have been from your loved ones in spirit, right? Being a medium, every day I'm learning. I'm learning more about the other side, the afterlife, what happens. And I learn from the souls that I communicate, what I communicate with. When I talk to your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your son, whoever's that lost, even your pets, I learn a little more and more every day about heaven, the afterlife, and what happens when we pass on. So first of all, I'm so glad that you are all here with me. Anne Marie says, is this live? Yes, it is live. I see all your comments where is it? Right here, I see all your comments. Leave your comments in the chat. I also see Carol is here on YouTube. I also, she's here from Australia. I see Moose is here. I see Robert is here as well. I also see that Georgiana is here as well. This is one of the things that I have to tell you is that even back in the day, back when I did private readings, people used to get so upset because they used to think that just because they purchased a reading, right, that the results were guaranteed, but they're not, because sometimes souls come through and sometimes there's a reason why they don't. Sometimes it's that they need a little bit more time. Sometimes you need a little bit more time. And sometimes they're orchestrating something that you know nothing about. But rather than talk about it, I want to share it with you. I want to share it with you. I have a video clip that I want to share with you. So much to talk about. But before I do, I want you to know that I am coming back on tour next month. So many of you have asked me, Matt, when can I meet you? I want to meet you up close and personal. Well, I want you to know that I just announced new tour dates, and there's VIP meet and greets available as well. So here's where I'm coming. Fargo, North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, Dover, Delaware. I also just announced I'm coming to Washington, D.C., to the Warner Theater. I'm also coming to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania on August 17th. Torrington, Connecticut, you guys, is happening. Lynn, Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, Enoch, Alberta, Canada, Waterville, Maine, Staten Island, New York, Waukegan, Illinois, Flynn, Michigan, Cincinnati, Ohio, Gary, Indiana, Pueblo, Colorado, Peekskill, New York, Des Moines, Iowa, just one, La Vista, Nebraska, Eugene, Oregon, Chandler, Arizona, Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Snoqualmie, Washington. All the tour dates are up on my website, meetmattfrazier.com. So that's where you can join me for a live event where I'm going to be delivering messages up close, impersonal messages from your loved ones in spirit. So for tickets, go to meetmattfrazier.com. There's meet and greet tickets available as well. All right. So come on in for story time. I'm going to tell you guys what happens. Such an amazing experience. So there was this woman who came to my online group reading, and she came again and again and again and never received a message from her husband that had passed away. Well, she was so upset. She was so upset. She was so upset. And she decided to go and to attend again. She's like, I'm going to attend one last time. Well, here's the thing. And this is something that, oh my God, you guys, it gave me the chills doing this reading. And I want to share with you the backstory. I want to share with you exactly what had happened, because it shows how spirit illustrates everything. So when I was planning for this online group reading, I made a mistake. When I went to go and give my dates that I was available over to my social media team, little did I know that I was overbooking. The day that I was supposed to do the online group reading, guess what? I would be in Las Vegas. Well, what ended up happening is that we scheduled the online group reading. Everybody bought their tickets. And then next thing you know, I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. That's the day that I'm actually traveling to Las Vegas. So rather than cancel the online reading, I just said, you know what? I'm going to travel to Vegas a day earlier and I'll do the online group reading in Vegas. So long story short, my team set everything up in Las Vegas at the Venetian so I could do the online group reading from there. Now, mind you, I didn't tell anybody that I was doing the online group reading from Vegas. The only people who knew was my team. And I thought it'd be really cool, right? I thought it was cool to surprise everybody who was at the online reading. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to surprise them when they turn on their cameras and they join the online reading. They're going to see that I'm in Las Vegas and everybody will think it's kind of super cool. So I didn't tell anybody. We made sure we could happen. And rather than cancel the online reading or move the online reading, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it from Vegas. And right away, there was some pushback, right? My team was like, well, Matt, what if we don't have like the proper internet? What if this isn't going to work or that doesn't work? What if the flight gets canceled? And I'm like, listen, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. For some reason, we're meant to do this online group reading in Vegas. So like I said, the event was sold out. Nobody knew about this. Everybody who already had their tickets thought that I was going to do the online reading here in this office. Little did they know that I would actually be doing the online reading from Las Vegas. Well, you're going to find out why this is important. So this woman had been to my online readings again and again and again and again, right? What came a couple times, didn't hear a message from her husband that had passed away. And guess what? She attended the day that I was in Las Vegas. Well, here's the backstory. The backstory is that her husband, guess what? Died in Las Vegas, you guys. He passed away in Las Vegas, died in Las Vegas. And the whole thing was she had been planning to come to Las Vegas to go and to, visit the spot in which he had died, to get closure and how he had died. She was really, really, really working up the courage. And Las Vegas was always a bad place in her head. It was always a bad place in her thought process. She actually told me that she thought about coming to see me in Las Vegas. She told me this during the reading. But like I said, she couldn't work up the courage to go because she saw it as a bad place because that's where her husband had passed away. Well, guess what? Little did she know I was in Las Vegas. Little did I know that she would be there at this online reading. And little did I know that that's where her husband had died. He had orchestrated this whole thing, right? He didn't come through the first online reading, didn't come through the second online reading, didn't come through the third online reading, right? Next thing you know, the online reading that she booked was where he had died, in Las Vegas. And I know that those couple times that he didn't come through was because he was preparing her. He wanted her to see other people get readings. He wanted to see her to see other people get closure. He wanted her to see other people witness spirit communication. And then he would surprise her and literally come through during that online reading in Las Vegas. Well, the crazy part was that she didn't know about this. Like, she had no idea I was going to be in Las Vegas. I didn't know I was going to be in Las Vegas. Somehow, some way, the dates got booked. In all of these years that I've done online group readings, we've never overbooked a date ever with an online reading. Well, excuse me, I lied. I just overbooked Father's Day, but we had to move it. But anyway, this was the only other time that a date was overbooked. So it was crazy because here we were, right? My team was like, Matt, you overbooked this date. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm like, let's do it in Las Vegas. Little did I know. I knew that there had to be a reason. I knew that there had to be a divine reason on why I was supposed to do that reading in Las Vegas at that time, at that place. Little did I know I'd be channeling her husband that died there. You guys ready? Take a look at this reading. You're going to see it. It's all captured on camera. So first of all, this is interesting. I have the soul that's coming through. Did you lose an ex-boyfriend or a significant other?
Husband.
Oh, your husband.
Yeah.
No.
I lost an ex-boyfriend too. What's the age range? What's the age range?
It's your husband.
Okay.
He's here.
Mom!
You gotta know that's my fault, okay? You gotta know that I don't see the difference between like husbands, ex-boyfriends.
Right.
They come through the same. I thought he was only a boyfriend or an ex, only because he's younger on the other side. That's the only reason why I say that to you. So know the first and he's also acting a lot younger when I'm connected with him. He was like a little boy that like never grew up. And he's on the other side and he's swearing like up a storm when I'm connecting. Because he's like, I didn't think this effing shit was real. I didn't think this effing shit was real. He's saying to me. So first of all, know that he's here. Right away, he's talking about the tattoo. I have to validate the tattoo. We're talking about the tattoo.
Wait, hold on, because now I'm kind of wondering if it might be Mark. He had tattoos. I got a tattoo in memory of him.
That's what I'm talking about. So you got the tattoo in memory of your husband. Well, you also, because he kept telling me you were thinking about adding to it or changing it. So are you adding or redoing the tattoo?
I'm adding to it.
He knows. And he said to me, Matt, he goes, let her know, don't go crazy. He says, because she's a little bit out of her mind, he tells me, and you don't understand. He goes, every year she thinks she's gonna be adding to this tattoo. He's saying, like, save your money, save your money. That's what he's telling me. And what the hell? He keeps saying to me, I'm sorry for not leaving you with anything. I'm sorry for not leaving you with anything. And he's teasing me because he's telling me when he was here, like, listen, I don't mean to get into your business. I'm just telling you what he's telling me. I am not judging by any means. Listen, I wouldn't want someone to judge my life. All right. I wouldn't judge your life. But he's telling me, Matt, we had like a little bit of an issue. He says, we lived above our means when we're here. We're always spending. Like he tells me like, he goes, like, we would buy things. He goes, before we even paid the electric bill, he said. So how do you connect with like him, like just blowing through money?
Yeah, it was often, he was a truck driver off the road. So he would buy stuff and wouldn't tell me about it. And then I go to pay something and he's like, well, just call him and tell him you'll pay it next time.
And she has a Cato's addiction.
And I have a store addiction, yeah.
Because he's telling me this. He goes, Matt, he goes, like, we would spend and spend and be like you would, like, he never worried about money. Like, you could be like $20,000 worth of debt and be like, yeah, that's all right. All right, keep adding it. Get the other card. Get the other card. Like, that's what I see.
Yeah. His motto is you only live once.
He's here.
He said the kids are fine, we're fine, we'll handle it when it comes, live day by day.
But wait a minute, did you also used to come on the road with him or travel with him here in this world?
That was our plan after the kids grew up and moved out, was to travel together.
Because he's telling me, I don't know, he keeps showing me the vision too of an RV. So I don't know if you were planning on getting an RV or you talked about getting an RV, but he keeps showing me this beautiful RV and saying this was going to be ours. This was going to be ours. So
Grandpa used to say that the RV, that we could have the RV and we could have it once they were gone. And my grandparents did give it to me.
But you never got to do it with your husband.
No.
He just said to me, please let her know that I am so sorry we didn't get to create these memories. Because he was really looking forward. He goes, Matt, I worked my balls off. He says, I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked. He goes, we always had money. He says, we used to spend money, but we used to have money. He says, he goes, I used to bring home everything. I would work myself to the bone. That's all I did. But my dream was to be in this RV with her. My dream was to go traveling with her, to do this with one another. He says, I'm so happy that we did. He goes, I'm so happy. He says that we got to formulate this plan, but I'm not happy that we didn't get to do it.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
He tells me that you were his world and you were his everything. But he also kept saying to me when he died, there was this loss of consciousness that was there. Because I keep hearing about losing consciousness and then him just dying.
Yeah, he was he fell asleep. He died away from home.
I gotta tell you that when I'm speaking to him, he just said to me, I had no control over this. So whatever happened, I just felt him go like this and just die. And he says to me, all I remember was losing consciousness. And he tells me at the time he had tried to stay awake because I see him like fighting it. And then all of a sudden his head just went down. So was he driving at the time when this had happened?
No. He was visiting a sister that in Las Vegas that he had just found, and he was visiting them that weekend.
Wait a minute. So he died right here in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I want to go to Las Vegas to get the better. That's my goal, is to get to Las Vegas so I can have a different outlook on Vegas.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's why you're here. I'm here right here in Vegas. I don't do readings from Vegas. I live in Rhode Island. How crazy is it? You did not know I was going to be in Vegas today. You didn't.
I heard you mention something. This is my 9th time being with you.
But listen to me. There's no way you could have known I was going to be in Las Vegas doing this online reading, because I didn't know I was going to be in Las Vegas doing this online reading till last week. I was supposed to fly in the day of show. So I was supposed to fly in, I'm supposed to fly in tomorrow. The only reason why I'm here early is because I had to do Howie Mandel in Los Angeles this morning. So how crazy is it that you kept saying, I need to get to Las Vegas. I have to go and change how I view my husband's death, because this isn't a good thing for me. And look at where I am right now. Las Vegas, the strip is right here. I'm on the strip right now.
No, I know. I had to check the date. When I saw you said you were in Las Vegas, I was like, wait a minute, he's not supposed to be 9th and 10th.
I got so much shit. You know how many people were like, oh, this is bullshit. This is how could be in 2 places at once? There's no way. Like, are you kidding me? Of course. Where do you think I'm going to do the online reading from? But anyways, yes. So I want you to know this. The fact that you're here today, this is your 9th time. And I know that he just recently passed away not too long ago.
No, he's been gone for a while.
Oh, really? How long?
13 years.
13 years?
Yeah, our anniversary was the 23rd of April, and he passed on the April 25th.
That's great. Do you know he's talking to me like he just died yesterday? I was not expecting that, because when I'm speaking to him, and the only reason why this is, the only time I see this is if someone's in such deep grief that like you feel like time stood still from the time in which he had died, meaning that like since his passing, like you're still stuck in that day, because he's talking to me as if he died yesterday or died just a few months ago. I had no idea he had been gone this long.
Yeah.
But
It feels, and every day it feels like it's just, yeah.
But I will tell you this. He keeps saying to me when I'm connecting with him, Matt, I want her to know that I am here and with her. And more importantly, he chose to come on this day. I never know why souls don't come through, and then sometimes they choose. The fact that you were here all 9 times, never got a message. And today, of all days, I've never done an online reading out of my office, right? One other time I did from Michigan. But here I am in Las Vegas, those one day where your husband died and he's here.
Yeah.
Showing you, I'm doing this for you. I'm coming through for you. And he does tell me you will be here. There will be one day that you come here, and he will give you a sign to show you that he's here and that he's with you. He doesn't tell me what sign it is, but he tells me that. But I need you to know this one thing. He also talks about, I'm going to get in trouble. He tells me about you dating again. So you're dating or seeing somebody?
I just left somebody who was very, very abusive. So that's why I'm in Missouri and not in South Carolina.
Okay. He talks about being in the relationship. He keeps telling me, I know about the relationship. I know about the relationship. So the fact that you had just gotten out of that or broke free, how recently was that?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. I need you to know that he knows about that, which is also the reason why he's here. You know, this is what's so crazy. You guys, that is the ultimate reason how souls come through, right? That's why I tell people, like, don't give up if you don't hear a message right away. How crazy. She came to my event again and again and again, 9 times, looking to hear a message from her husband, looking to hear a message from her husband. Normally it doesn't take 9 times, right? But for her, she came again and again and again and again and again. Didn't hear nothing, didn't hear nothing, didn't hear nothing, didn't hear nothing. Well, guess what? How crazy is it that was that blip in my schedule? My schedule got changed around, and my online reading ended up being at the place that he died, Las Vegas, the place that was the place that was bringing her so much pain, the place that she wanted to visit but couldn't because it was where her husband had passed away, the place that literally was eating up at her heart every single day. I was there, and her husband came through. It wasn't supposed to be that way. I was supposed to be here in the office doing the online reading, and little did she know that I was in Las Vegas. And guess what? His soul decided that he was going to come through on that day. This is not a coincidence. His soul planned this. This is what I try to tell you guys, that if you don't get a message right away, right, there's a reason for it. Sometimes you're not healed yet, right? There was another reason why he didn't come through. It's because she was just going through this bad relationship. She was going through this terrible pain. She was stuck in this toxic relationship, and she chose to get herself out of it, right? This is the reason why souls choose on when they come through and when they don't, right? And that's the reason why you can plan, you can pay for a private reading, but it doesn't mean a loved one is going to come through or reach you, right? And that's why I said, like, even though it took her 9 times to attend, to attend to get a message from her husband, what was so crazy is he came through with a message that changed everything for her in that one moment. And it was 10 times cheaper than paying for a private reading. And in the meantime, I know if she came to a private reading, his soul wouldn't have been there. His soul wouldn't have came through at that moment. Why? I know that he planned this. I know that he wanted her to come to the online readings, to see other people get messages, to watch other people heal, to let her know that she wasn't alone, to let her know that what she had gone through, other people were going through, that the way that they're healing, she's healing as well. I know that he also wanted her to see how spirits communicate. I know that he was leading her up to that very moment, that he was going to surprise her and come through, and he orchestrated everything. I can't tell you how many times this happens. It just happened the other day where this woman was like, Matt, she's like, I can't get over this. She goes, I came twice to an online reading. I didn't get a message. And literally it popped up that, you were doing an online reading on my dad's birthday. She's like, I came to the reading, and she was the first one that got a message. This is what happens. Souls choose when they come through, when they're going to reach you, when they're going to connect with you, when they're going to send a sign. And you're going to know that their messages are impactful. When they come through is impactful. It could be that there's something big that's going on in your life right now. It could be that there's something they need to tell you before you go through something. In this situation, it was that she was going through this terrible relationship, right? And her husband's soul didn't want to come through and sway her one way or another. I want you to see the rest of this reading, because I want you to see the part of both the relationship and why he chose not to come through. Ready? Take a look. What's so beautiful is this, and the reason why I'm asking you the dates, it's really interesting. In spirit, I don't know dates. So if you were to say to me, oh, like, for example, let's say we would make a prediction, right? And somebody said to me, Matt, am I going to get married this year or next year? I can't tell you, because the spirit world doesn't go by our time. They have a different calendar, right? Just like how, Chinese New Year is different than our New Year. They don't go by dates. They go by moments in life. So I'll tell you that I think that that's actually what blocked you, to be honest with you, from your husband coming through, because I feel like he was waiting for you to have the courage to leave that relationship and to free yourself from that relationship. And I will tell you, He said to me, you are meant to find love. But there's one thing that you need to know. I know what you're telling me. He just said to me, you need to be there for yourself first. You have to find yourself first.
Amen.
He tells me that, wait a minute, listen to me. Listen to me. Don't listen to me. Listen to your husband. Listen. He tells me that you rushed into this relationship because you were so grieving your husband. You wanted somebody so bad. You were so afraid of being alone that it's like you ran into this relationship. And I'm going to tell you, you weren't really in love. He tells me. He says it was a distraction. It was a distraction just to go and to have something to look at so you didn't have to feel like you were alone. You were so afraid to be alone. I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like, but it's not for me. Please remember, it's not for me. And I'm telling you this with love because it's what he's telling me. He says, you have to spend a year alone. He says, you have to spend a year alone.
I just talked to my daughter about that. Yeah, just trying to find myself and find closer to God again. And
when you do that, your life is going to change in ways that you never thought possible because he's helping you. So he said to me this. He did not want to come through in that past reading. I know, because souls don't want to influence your life. So he wouldn't make you, he wouldn't tell you to come through and leave that relationship because it has to be our decision. But the fact that it's changed right now, he's coming through to let you know you're on the right path. This right here, being in Vegas, changed your whole life. This is where your husband died. It's where you're whole. It's because of the worst thoughts in your head because of the way that your husband died and when he died.
Yeah.
He needs you to know this one thing. He says, Matt, he says, you need to tell her, please take a year. Take a year to find you. He's going to be helping you. The surprises along the way. Sometimes what happens is, hold on. That's weird. Zoom just came out and said, confirm you're speaking a different language. I don't know why that's saying that. He said to me, I'm going to help you find good things in your life. He says, but you have to take that year off. You have to take that year off. Know that I'm there with you. And I am safe and at peace. You guys, do you see that? So there was two reasons why his soul didn't come through. One, she wasn't healed enough, but two, she was in a really toxic relationship and her husband didn't want to come through and say, leave this man, leave this man. He wanted her to make that decision herself, to find her way out of that relationship herself. And then he was going to come through and help her. Do you see how if he would have come through earlier, that message wouldn't have been helpful to her? It wouldn't have been a value of her. This is why I tell people, right, that when it comes to your loved ones, we can request them to come through from the other side. But at the same time, your loved ones come through at a time when you need it the most, when you need their wisdom, when you need their guidance. And guess what? You might not know when that is, but your loved one knows when that is. They know when the time is right. So I know that spirit does amazing things. I've seen it happen again and again and again during my live events, during my online group readings. There was this crazy thing that happened to me where this woman one time, you know, came to one of my, let me just tell the story because I'm telling it backwards. So there was this woman who came to my event years ago. And when I connected with her, I saw that her friend had lost her son and her friend's son had come through. He had passed in a really tragic accident. And he was saying to me, get this message to my mom, get this message to my mom. Well, she said, you know, his mom lives in another state, but I'll call her. I keep in touch with her. Well, she called her friend and said, hey, listen, I was at that Matt Frazier show. I don't know if you know who he is. And she's like, no, I have no idea who that is. She's like, oh, he's a psychic medium and your son came through and this is what your son had said and so on and so forth. Well, the woman didn't tell anybody. But what she did next was crazy. She had booked a plane flight. She booked a plane and a flight. She got on a flight, came to my very next tour stop without telling anybody and sat in the audience. Now, I didn't know this woman, right? This woman didn't even know me, right? She heard of me from her friend who attended my show. Well, don't you know, she was the very first person that I read. Immediately when I looked out into the crowd, I saw her son. And her son said to me, you got to talk to my mother. You got to talk to my mother. And when she stood up, I started connecting with her and reading for her. And the son reminded me of that soul that I talked to a few weeks ago. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I know your son. I had a soul come through that reminds me so much of him. And that's when she broke down and she said, Matt, she goes, I'm not even from here. She goes, I booked a flight. I came all the way to this tour stop. She says, because you read my friend and you told her my son had come through for me. She goes, so I said, you know what? I want to know who this medium is and I'm booking my next plane. She goes, and I was going to come see you anywhere in the country. Well, Don't you know that she flew out when her son was there? This is what I'm saying, is that souls will choose and get you to where you need to be. So that's why so many people are like, what are my chances of getting read in an online reading? Matt, what if I come and I don't hear a message? What if you don't see me? What if you don't connect? It's not up to me. I don't pick the people during online readings or during live events. I go where your loved ones pull me. I start to hear little messages like, I'm this person's mother, I'm this person's brother, I'm this person's aunt. Sometimes people get read right away. Sometimes it takes a second or third time. One time you might come and hear from someone you don't want to hear from, like your friend's son. And the next time you come, you might hear from your mom or your sister or your brother. But what's so amazing is that when the time is right, spirit will be there for you, and so will a message, and they will divinely put everything together. But the sad part is that most people don't attend. I try to keep my online readings just under $30, right? But the thing is that most people make up a million excuses. Be like, what are my chances? You know, why am I not guaranteed a reading? What if? And they even did this with private readings as well. And it's sad because back when you know I did these back when I did the private readings, there would be so many people who made excuses, wouldn't come. And the next thing you know, I stopped doing private readings and people are like, well, I was going to book them. And I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do at this point, right? Well, it's the same thing with online readings. I want to let you guys know that June is sold out, but I'm doing online readings on July 6th. So there's a few spots left to my July 6th online reading. It's just under $30 to attend. So if you want to join me, here's what you need to do. Go to my website, meetmattfrazier.com, and click on online readings. And once you're there, you'll see July 6th. July 6th and July 12th. Is that what I told you guys? July 6th, July 12th, and July 13th. Those are my last online readings before I head back on the road. So if you want to connect with a loved one, right? All you have to do is go to my website, sign up for an online reading, and make sure you're there. If there's a message from your loved one, it will be there for you. And if it's not there at that moment, it might come through someone else's message, or it might come through at a later time. But when you're there, there's something that you need to hear, see, or experience. So I'm letting you know this because I know that spirit put you in my life for a reason, and you were led here for a reason. And I want you to feel good about connecting with your loved ones. This is a good question. Ali says, Matt, do you do readings for people in the UK? Absolutely. People come from the UK all the time. I've read for people in the UK. I've read for people in Ireland and all over the country. So if you want to join me, just head to meetmattfrazier.com. And it's sad because everybody always says, well, Matt, what about, you know, private readings? Do you do private readings? So ever since the television show, I haven't been able to do any private readings. All the readings that you see are the readings that I've done during online group reading events. So the way that it works is that you sign up, I send you an email with the link, right? And the moment that you sign up, you have your spot reserved, you click the link and boom, I see you guys see me, and I channel messages from your loved ones in spirit. But I would never lie. I'd never say that someone's soul is coming through if they're not. I would never tell you that a soul is speaking to me if they're not, because I know better. I know that when the time is right, they will. And that's the biggest red flag. The biggest red flag is if a medium tells you, oh, just tell me who you want to hear from. Oh, tell me if you want to hear from who are you looking for? Your mom, your dad? You tell me and I'll deliver a message. That is the biggest farce. You can request a loved one. You can ask for a loved one to come through, but there's never a guarantee because your loved one has to be ready. You have to be ready, and you can't force a soul to speak. So if you've ever wanted to come to an online reading, July 6th is the next date. It's just under $30 total to attend. This is what it's like. You ready? Take a look. If you haven't been to an online reading yet, take a look at what it's like. The moment that you click your link, I see you guys see me, and it's literally like a party line connecting with the other side. Here's a little preview. So I see my girls, and they're actually not fighting right now. We tell
Oh my
Whoa.
God. No,
There
you
you go.
didn't just say that.
Okay, now I'm a believer.
I mean, my Instagram and all my social media don't have any pictures. I don't post anything of that nature. And for you to say the things that you just said, you don't know how you just changed my life.
He knows about the way that you asked to stay with his body after he died.
No one knows that.
I know it because I've been talking to your father. Who the hell do you think I'm talking to?
Oh my God.
Okay, there's a soul that's here that's trying to grab my attention that's telling me that they passed during a procedure.
That's my sister.
She's here. This is weird. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Do you still have your daughter's hair? She just said to me, talk about the hair and they're going to know that it's real.
She had cancer. We had her hair cut.
She was growing her hair out to donate to a little girl.
Did your dad used to hide money in coffee cups?
Oh my God, we found those old coffee tins hidden in the basement with tons of money.
I'm also seeing the situation where he had a procedure done.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, you're so right. I
And
did not believe you were real. I mean, I wanted to
Oh my God.
Your brother's telling me that he had thoughts of ending his life here in this world.
How do you know this? I found you like randomly too. It was like on YouTube, and I was like, he's got to be one that my brother was telling me to find.
That's crazy. There you go. So if you've been getting signs from spirit, or if you've been wanting to get a live reading with me, now is your opportunity. Head to my website, meetmattfrazier.com, and click on online readings. Signing up is simple. And the moment that you're signed up, you're going to receive from me an email with the special link that you click, and boom, that's it. The date and time of the reading, you're live. I see you, you guys see me, and more importantly, it gives your loved ones the opportunity to come through with the message. You can attend from anywhere. All you need is a tablet, PC, or cell phone to be able to join live on Zoom. Are you ready? Head on over and reserve your spot right now while there's still time. So you guys, that's it. Meetmattfrazier.com is where you can go. July 6th is the next online reading. So it doesn't matter if you're in the UK, Canada, anywhere in the United States, you can come and join me. The moment you sign up, I'm going to send you an email to your email inbox. If you don't get it, do me a favor, check your spam or junk folder. But I can only allow a limited amount of people. And what I want you to know is that June is already sold out, but July 6th is the next online reading. So I hope and pray that you will come and be there, because I can't wait to deliver these messages from your loved ones in spirit. And more importantly, to see who comes through from the other side. I can only read you if you're there. So head on over to meetmattfrazier.com, and I will see you on July 6th. And also check out my tour dates. There's meet and greet opportunities. I'm coming to North Dakota. I'm coming to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'm coming to Washington, D.C., Dover, Delaware, Lynn, Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm coming to Waterville, Maine. All the tour dates are up on my website, meetmattfrazier.com, and also the online readings as well. There's also articles and blogs and books and anything that you need to start your journey in connecting with the afterlife, because I know that many of you are psychic and many of you have your own spiritual gifts, and I can't wait to see how you use them to change the world. So meetmattfrazier.com. I want to thank you guys for liking, for subscribing, for being here on Facebook and on YouTube. And I want to thank you guys so much for the love that you send me every day. I'm sending all that positivity back to you. And I hope to see you at the next online reading. Don't forget, meetmattfrazier.com, because if dead people can find me, so can you. I'll see you live online.